Hey everyone, Donnie Walk here. A lot of work done today. Had a great day. We had snow in the morning here. We had a couple, maybe about a couple inches of snow, like instantly right in the morning, and then it cleared up about noon. Sun was out. It was quite nice. Kind of melted away. It was just fine. Tonight's cold though, about -7 here tonight, I believe, in Parsville, BC. But it is what it is. Um, it is winter, right? Not very often we get that cold here, but it's going to hang around for a few more days, I figure. Then it should warm up a little bit. So yeah, all good. I just wanted to show you tonight. I had my friend Dave over today. Thank you very much, Dave, for helping me out. He went upstairs and took the dyno parts that I had here on my dyno platform of the chainsaw system that I used to run years ago, which I haven't used for about 20 years, but I did a lot years ago on older models of saws, okay? And kart engines as well, Honda engines. We were running in those days in the go-kart racing. Now we run the Briggs L206, and that's what I'm setting this dyno up for. And I can also convert it back to the chainsaw one later on when I want to use it for some of the saws, right? But I ran into some problems with the software program for here. But I was down in Victoria on the weekend and see my friend Guy Barrett. He built his own dyno, auto hydraulic motor, which me and my dad have done years ago. But Guy, I'm telling you, man, that guy's a perfectionist. He built a wicked dyno system. It's portable. You can like take it to a guy's place and run their engine and give you a printout, right? He did a great job. But he hooked up with a company called Your Dyno in Europe. I think he's in Finland, actually. And this fella, I emailed him this morning what I have, an old system, this dynamite system, which I think is a 7 or 8 inch water brake system. And it used to have a data acquisition system like this board thing here, and then you can print it out to a printout once you laid it out on the computer. The computer program was an old floppy disk and was quite complex actually. It was, you know, they made dynos for like up to V8s and V12s, but on the single engine type usage, you only really need torque, horsepower, exhaust temperature maybe, and that's about it really. So that's the way I used to use it with the chainsaws, and I'm going to do that with the Briggs & Stratton as well. So I've emailed the fella in Finland exactly what I have here, the pictures of my wiring system and my plumbing system, which is basic, water in, water out, but it's all to do with the wiring system. You strain your strain gauge wiring for your torque arm and your RPM gauge. Well, the RPM gauge is on your spark plug, but you know, just a few other features like that, whatever you want to add on to it. But I'm going to keep it real basic and be able to run people's engines in, give them a couple dyno poles to break the engine in, and also show them their horsepower. And if they want to change things and try things, they can do that, and I'll run it again for them. Or I'll obviously do it for myself as well, of course, right? You know, that's what it's all about, having a dyno, figuring stuff out, right? So, yeah, I'm getting all set up to run the Briggs 206s on here. As well as, see over in the corner, I got that cheap grinder I bought. But I'll get that set up so I can grind a couple changes. I need to test a couple saws in the next couple days here. Tomorrow I'm going to run Chris Nacarato's 357 that I showed you guys I was building. I did a little video of it today, just running it and giving it a few snaps with the throttle. Man, that sucker's snappy. And we'll cut with it tomorrow with a 20-inch Walker's Light Bar with 3/8 chain, skip tooth. If it was my saw, I'd run full house on it and an A2 sprocket. But me and him talked about that, and he might change his mind. And if you do change your mind, Chris, I'll change it to an A-tooth if you're going to run a 18 to 20 inch bar on it, because it just speeds it up, and that's what I like. So it'll work good for you. I got a few other things on the go. I bought some tools for doing the heads on these Briggs & Stratton. They're very important to keep the compression up. That's the main thing with these motors. You're not allowed to change the bottom end timing like any cam timing or messing around with the bottom end. They're a sealed engine, so you can only work on your valve lap, your valve timing, let's say, your valve lash, and making sure your valves are sealing for the compression, right? That's the biggest thing with these motors, you know, and keeping your carburetor clean, just keeping the basic stuff going. You know, you might buy 10 of these engines. 3 of them will be faster than the other 7. So those are the ones, if you're running them on a dyno or just running them, those are the ones you want to keep, because it's all to do with the cam timing. But Briggs is getting a lot better with their consistency of cam timing. So you don't, you know, most motors are all the same. You know what I mean? So some guy could have a tricked out one. He figures, oh yeah, I'm going to kick ass today. But the guy comes out with a box stock one that's just got his L set right and the carburetor clean, and he wins. You know, it's all to do with, you know, cam timing, or the guy's a better driver, better kart, right? But every little bit on these motors, keeping your carb clean all the time, your fuel pump clean, your oil clean, just keeping your maintenance up. Clutches are very important. Make sure you service your clutch after every race. Clean it, re-groove it if it's a hard shoe unit, or if it's the padded type clutch, then you want to obviously change the pads. So I bought the New Way valve seat cutter kit. It's got the 45 and the 30 cutter, all the pilots and all the tools for it. Very nice lady. I believe her name was Nancy at the company there. But, you know, it was well worth it, man. I ordered this up, had it shipped to me within a week. Now I can do all the heads. I'm building tomorrow a valve leak down tester kit, which other guys have made. I've seen online, but I'm building my own tomorrow. I've already got the base plate here with the head gasket. I'm going to put 4 posts on this thing, and air fitting on it, just like Buddy on Robin's racing channel. Okay, he gave me kind of the idea, and you know, thank you very much for that, by the way, sir. I thought about it doing it a different way, but the way you did it, I'm just going to do it that way. It's so simple. So I'm going to put 4 posts on here tomorrow, a fitting in the bottom, and I'll just be able to put the head on here, screw it down, and be able to test it without putting it back on the motor every time. So it just makes it easier for engine builders and people even doing their own maintenance of heads on a Briggs L206. So just, you know, just makes it easy, okay? I will do a video on this, and a video on also, I've already done one, I think, on leak down. But on just the way I'm doing them, okay? I do it all legal. I am a tech guy at our local races, so I don't cheat. I just try to get the best performance out of something, and that's the way it should be, okay? There's cheaters in all kind of racing. Doesn't matter what it is, man. From remote control cars up to friggin' NASCAR, okay? So, anyways, that's what I'm up to. Another thing I want to show you, besides the go-kart stuff, is some aftermarket cylinders of 390s versus 390 regular ones. A couple guys have asked me lately. An old logger friend of mine, follower friend of mine, he got one of these 390 cylinders, big bore, and tried to rebuild a saw with it, and it wouldn't fit. The piston, as you went to rotate it to bottom dead center, it would hit the bottom of the case. So I'm going to show you right now kind of what is going on with them, okay? Another friend of mine up Island, Dave, he sells a lot of aftermarket cylinder kits. He's got some sort of chainsaw company selling all sorts of things. So Dave, he went through the same problem of this. So what I'm going to show you here right now is the length of the 390 piston with a vernier caliper. Okay, get it zeroed out. Hope everyone's having a good night. How was your Super Bowl Sunday? Hey, quite a change in the event there, eh? Wasn't that great of a game, really. But I didn't care who won or lost. 1.828 thousandths, okay? So 1 inch, 828 thousandths on that piston length of a standard 390 that I'm going to port out. This is a used 390 cylinder and piston that someone has sent to Walker Saw Shop that I'm going to port out and modify, right? I got 4 372 X-Torques here, an original 372 cylinder, and a couple more cylinders here that I'm in the next couple of days. But let's get back to this. So the length of that was 1 inch, 828 thousandths. This one, oh my goodness, I didn't even touch it. Open this up, let's check it out. Intake side, just like the other side. Never know if they're different. .832. Yeah, okay. A bit longer. That's why it's hitting the bottom. And the weight, wow, it feels weird. The weight feels weird. This is the Aftermarket 390 big bore. Here's a major, just a standard 390. Let's check out the weight difference. Here's my little scale here in grams. A regular 390, 134 grams. Aftermarket 390 big bore, 147. That's a lot heavier, man. That's a lot. Now, if people have watched my videos through the years, I've talked a lot about 385s and 390s. 385s did not have problems like 390s. 390s are great saws, don't get me wrong. Great saw. You can still get them, by the way, too. I think my brother has a bunch more of them, and might even get more of them, because they know a lot of the other stuff in the auto-tune isn't working out quite right. That's my theory. But anyways, the 390, you think about it. If I took a 385 piston, which I don't have here, I wish I did to actually show you this, the weight is even different, obviously, because it's a smaller displacement, okay? So, I always talk about balance factor or bob weight of crankshaft balancing. And we all know that Husqvarna saws are very smooth on your hands versus some older models of stills, or the new models of stills are a lot better. So a lot of people are using them now that had hand problems that couldn't run them. Okay, and that's the truth. People want to argue that with me, go right ahead, but it's a proven fact. So what I'm getting at is the 385 was this very smooth saw. Nuts and bolts didn't vibrate loose or strip out. Not a lot of problems. They were just a great running saw, good power. We did a mild porting to it for a work saw, a little intake timing, a little exhaust timing. Some I would match the transfer ports to the case, but I'm not sure if that was a big gain. It's a little better in the mid-range, but it wasn't that much, but it was a lot of work, right? So doing what I was doing and just modifying the muffler, they worked great. I never deleted the gaskets in them because it was too tight of a squish, or I could have, probably could have turned them down on a lathe and got them maybe down, 5-10 thou, and then used the gasket and got a little better compression out of them. But you know what? There was nothing wrong with them. And in a lot of the camps I deal with old gas and bad gas and bad oil, a lot of carbon buildup. So I don't like to build them too tight for the work saws, right? But I guarantee you, the problems with the 390, then also you have now a 390 big bore aftermarket thing here. Blah, hate them. It's vibration, man. Okay? The balance factor between the 390, the 385, I wish I actually had them all on a crank, and I would figure it out, the percentage of the bob weight, right? 50 to 55% is the best in most chainsaw motors. and I'm not sure what these ones are at. But that's what I learned from a friend of mine that used to work for Husqvarna. My friend Magnus Johansson was one of my best friends. He great engineer at Husqvarna and helped me out a lot with two-stroke development of saws and cart engines too. Anyways, but what I'm getting at, the 385, think about it. You didn't have the top cover screws screwing up, dog bolts coming loose, a lot of different stuff, right? Some crankshafts, rods breaking, which is very common on a lot of the 390s, and which was weird. The rods were just breaking. And, their warranty department's like, well, you're over revving them and walkerizing them. I'm like, yeah, right, man. I've done that for years with 385s and 288s, 2100s. The rods don't break. These things are snapping, like not from heat. The material was actually breaking. Like you could see on a rod on a 390 how it actually separated or even broke completely off. You're like, okay, well, it's not from lubrication or anything. It's just from bad metal. So what I'm getting at is the 385 was a better saw than 390. The 390 is a great saw, yes, but it had some imperfections, and I hope you don't have those with that one. These ones, I just want to throw this across the room. I just don't like them. Like, what a bad design. Like, right away, you got to trim the bottom of the piston to make it work, and it weighs a friggin' ton, right? And it's got a little pop-up. Big deal. Pop-ups are stupid. They're not built right for the combustion chamber of most saws unless you're a real expert and know how to cut a combustion chamber to actually allow for a pop-up piston. So go ahead and do what you want to do, but my method is the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Try to use OEM. If you're using the aftermarket stuff, that's fine. If that's all, I get it, man. Some people don't have the money for OEM. And if you're just a backyarder or just a buddy building a saw to sell for a guy just to cut a little wood, no problem, man. No problem. But absolutely not. I'll prefer a professional. Use any of those. Bearings, nothing. Okay? So that's my little rant tonight. Not really a rant. I just felt like talking tonight. Had a good day. Got a lot accomplished today. Tomorrow I'm going to work on a 361, I think. Let's go check this out over here. I think a 361 or a 362 for my friend Mike Boyko. 361, MS 361. I'm going to walkerize that for him. He is an incredible fella. I've known his family for years in logger sports. Mike, I think he's a little bit older than me. He's been in logger sports for like over 50 years. One of the best log burlers, axe throwers, choppers, sawmen. Just a nice person. His family's all really nice. And yeah, I can't wait to get that done for him and get him going on that. Bit of a long video now, but I just want to say thanks everyone for watching lately. I've been a little sick, obviously, but getting a lot accomplished lately. I'm getting really nice setup here with 3 benches. So I got a fella helping me, and then other people that I'm teaching lately on some programs of small engine stuff and the go-kart stuff. I got the bench there for them to work on. So I'm kind of proud of myself for getting a lot of stuff happening, and hopefully it pays off. I'm not looking, I'll never be a millionaire or make a lot of money, but I just like to help people and do the right thing and have some fun too. That cart I got up there is awesome. My extra motor sitting over here on the bench here, but I got a brand new motor that I'm tricked all up, and we'll be out there, and hopefully I can get my GoPros figured out this year so you can watch me race, okay? It'll be cool. It's a really cool sport. So keep your saw in the wood, sticking the ice, rubbing the road. Be really careful out there in the snow. We got a little bit more here today, but it's kind of warmed up this afternoon. It melted it, but then now it's freezing tonight and making ice roads and sidewalks. So just be careful there. Have a good night. See you later.